Hello and welcome to Big Orb's Cardfight Vanguard weekly update. My name is James and today we have a lot of cards to go through, so I'll go through a few of them a little quicker than usual. First off, we have a new G Guardian for Royal Paladin, Little Great Sage Marin. He has Auto Soul Blast 1 when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle. If you have a Vanguard with Alfred or Blaster in its card name, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to one Grade 1 or greater card, call it to Guardian Circle, and it gains shield plus 5000 till the end of the battle. Shuffle. This can allow you to use a Perfect Guard from your deck, as long as it's not one of the Call from Hand versions. So things like Flash Shield Assault will work. Champion of Silence Gallatin from the Legend deck will also be a good choice, as he will go up to become a 15,000 shield. Aspire Painter is a grade 2 for Royals and has Auto Generation Break 1. When this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Alfred or Blaster in its card name, Counter Charge 1, Soul Charge 1, and this unit gets plus 3000 power until the end of turn. It's a shame that he has to be called from hand with this skill, but it's a nice refresher. I don't think you'll be soul charging back to Myriad Saver, but you can use this extra soul for something like the Marin G-Guard. Although this isn't a new card, I can finally confirm that new style Blaster Lou will definitely be a single R for the booster set, so very easy to get a hold of. We also have a little bit of Altmail support this week with Knight of Pulsation Astarius. His skills are continuous in the deck. If you have a Vanguard with Altmail in its card name, this card gets grade plus 1. And continuous Rearguard Circle Generation Break 1 Brave. This unit gets plus 2000 power and continuous resist on the Rearguard Circle. In my opinion, this is just a better version of Headwind Knight Selim, so I'll definitely be replacing Selim with Starius. Now time for Royal Paladin's original rivals, Kagero. Dragonic Blade Master has had a lot of great support this week. Firstly, we have the grade 3 Dragonic Blade Master, Corwin. He has Blaze and Auto Vanguard Circle Count Blast 1. When your G unit strides, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, retire it, choose one of your units with the Blaze ability, and it gets plus 3000 power until the end of the turn. Pretty much just a better version of the previous on stride skill. Then he has Auto Vanguard Circle Generation Break 2. At the end of each turn, if your opponent has no rear guards, choose one grade 3 with the Blaze ability from your drop zone and put it into your hand. This is a great way to continue to stride turn after turn if you can pull off the empty field. A great backup grade 3 to use other than the original Dragonic Blade Master is Wyvern Strike Jargo. This unit has Blaze and Auto Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the same column as this unit and retire it. Then it has continuous Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle, Generation Break 1. If your Vanguard is blazing, this unit gets plus 2000 for each of your opponent's open Rearguard Circle in the back row. This is a really nice skill for the extra power and really punishes Magia and Hollow, who have played Kagero for so long. Similar to this, we have the grade 2 Dragon Knight Mubdi. He has Blaze and Auto Rearguard Circle Generation Break 2 Counterblast 1. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if your Vanguard with Blade Master in its card name is blazing, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card, and this unit gets plus 2000 for each of your opponent's open Rearguard Circles until the end of the battle. It's true that Kagero is Counterblast heavy already, but there are so many counter charges and not enough cards that draw, so I think this card is going to be very useful for Kagero. Flare Trooper Dumjid is a Perfect Guard that has to be called from hand for the Perfect Guard ability and has Blaze. He also has continuous Guardian Circle Generation Break 1. If there is a Flare Trooper Dumjid in your drop zone, this unit gets plus 15,000 shield. A good way to save on hand if you can. It also works well with Lizard Soldier Belloc to make a 20k shield and retire for the same cost as the Perfect Guard. Dragon Dancer Nilda is a stand trigger with Blaze and Auto Rearguard Circle Generation Break 1. Put this unit to the bottom of your deck. When your unit's attack with the Blaze ability hits a Vanguard, if your Vanguard is blazing, you may pay the cost. If you do, countercharge 1, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. Unfortunately, Kagero doesn't have many ways to shuffle the deck, so it's likely she will be staying on the bottom for the rest of the game. However, using this with Inspire Yell Dragon can help to allow you to shuffle, but you may want to use draws over stands in Kagero, depending on your build. Lastly for Kagero, we have Dragon Monk Shinsem. He has Auto Rearguard Circle Generation Break 1, retire this unit. At the end of your turn, if your opponent has no rear guards, you may pay the cost. If you do, countercharge 1, and if you have 3 or more rear guards, draw a card. This is likely to be the least used card out of the Kagero stuff we've seen so far. but he still may have some uses. If you've got your opponent to no rear guards, then you probably need to countercharge considering you've probably used a lot to retire all the units, and you draw a card, so you're not really losing much for retiring him. Energy Flame Ethonic is still a good choice, but at least you can use Shinsen for the turn before getting rid of him. I'm really loving the Kagero support in this set. Punishing your opponent for having nothing is something they've needed, and I'm glad they gave it to Blade Master. It really makes me want to build a Blade Master deck. I just love the identity they've given him. Pulsar Drastic Colossus is a grade 3 for Gear Chronicle, who is both a Gear Colossus and a Zodiac Time Beast. It has auto, choose a card from your hand and discard it. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 Gear Colossus or Zodiac Time Beast from among them, put one of the cards into your hand and bind one of those cards face up, and put the rest into your drop zone. And then it has auto Vanguard Circle. When your G unit strides, you may draw a card. If you do, choose a card from your hand, bind it face up, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets plus 1000 power for each of your cards in the bind zone until the end of turn. With no booster, this unit gets Demiurge to 35,000 power with Glory Skill if you have 12 cards in the bind zone. I'm so glad they decided to give some support to Demiurge, and the great thing is all the G Chronicle cards they've shown today are Zodiac Time Beasts and work with him. Pulsar Bringhawk is a grade 1 with auto. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, you may bind a card your deck face up. If that card is a Zodiac Time Beast, choose up to one of your Gear Colossus and it gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the battle. The thing I like about this is the fact that it gives the power to the Vanguard, which means even if this card is retired from a guard break ability, you still keep some of the shield from it. Pulsar Nibble Rat is another grade 1, this time with 2 skills. The first one is Auto Bind Zone, Generation Break 1, Counterblast 1 and bind the top card of your deck face up. At the beginning of your guard step that your Gear Colossus is attacked, you may pay the cost. If you do, call this card to Guardian Circle. And its second skill is Act, Hand, bind this card face up, and choose one of your Zodiac Time Beast rear guards and rest it. Draw a card. I like how even on the turn you stride Demiurge. If you're only on 11 cards in the bind zone, you can use this to make it your 12th card. And finally for Zodiac Time Beasts, we have the Forerunner, Pulsar Sentry Draco Kid. It has auto rearguard circle, choose a grade 3 Colossus from your hand and reveal it. At the beginning of your ride phase, you may pay the cost. If you do, bind the top card of your deck face up. A very easy skill to pull off and a quick way to get Demiurge out. Then it has Act Rearguard Circle, Generation Break 1, Soul Blast 1 and retire this unit. If you have a Gear Colossus Vanguard, bind to the top card of your deck face up, and if that card is Zodiac Time Beast, draw a card. This is yet another way to get to the condition for Demiurge, even if you stride him that turn. It's a little riskier than Nibble Rat though. We also have a couple of Dark Irregulars. The first one is Deranged Singular, a new Forerunner. He has Auto Rearguard Circle Darkness. When this unit boosts, this unit gets plus 2000 power until the end of the battle. And Auto Rearguard Circle, when your G unit strides, put this unit and all of your grade 1 or grade 2 rearguards into your soul and draw 2 cards. This is a less counterblast heavy version of Ordinars, but I will still be using Ordinars so I can get some early attacks in without losing too much. And for the Doreen power up, though I use Blade Wings, and this is more suited to Shaharot who tends to counterblast more. Listic Vampire is a grade 1 who has Auto, Generation Break 1, choose a card from your hand and put it into your soul. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, if you have a Vanguard with the Darkness ability, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a normal unit from your soul and put it into your hand. This is a nice way of getting Perfect Guard into your hand without having to pay Succubus of Avarice's effect of retiring one of your cards, and gives you more flexibility with what Perfect Guards you want to use in your deck. And the last card of the week is a Cray Elemental, Earth Elemental Connell, who has Continuous Rearguard Circle, Generation Break 1. When you would be chosen by any fighter, due to the effect of your opponent's card, choose this unit as much as possible. This shouldn't cause too much problem for something like Kagero, but Link Joker may find it a bit annoying, especially as it is likely to be staying on the back row. Cards can be paralyzed multiple times, so Mega Colony will have a difficult time against this card. Luckily, Darkface's on stride skill can't target one card twice, so you will be able to choose another card with that, but it still badly limits Mega Colony's actions. Also, decks that weaken units will be affected, like Zeal and Witches, though at least Witches will easily be able to force your opponent to call over this card with a grade 0. And that is all for this week. Feel free to leave a comment if you want to give your opinions on the cards, or if you have any questions about the ruling. I'll be on holiday, so there won't be a new episode for the next 3 weeks. However, when I do make the next episode, instead of going through all the cards, I'll just be doing a big highlight video showing all the ones that stood out throughout those weeks. So it'll most likely just be like triple R's and double R's, some big flashy special ones. But you never know, there are always some good little single R's and commons who've become really interesting and really good. So I hope to see you next time. Bye!